Chopra. You're watching One World with Deepak Chopra, brought to you from Deepak home base in New York City. My very special guest today is Adam Braun, and you'll know all about him in a few minutes. Adam, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So it's nice to see you again, of course. We've met before.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about where you grew up.
Yeah, so I was born in New York City, actually. But I grew up in the suburbs of the city in Connecticut. And as a kid, had a very, very closely knit family. But my grandparents were actually Holocaust survivors. And it was a really, really big, influential part of our upbringing to understand where we came from, the struggles that they went through, so that we could have the lives that we were able to enjoy. And so grew up in the suburbs, kind of your traditional suburban upbringing. The one difference, I would say, is that my hometown was a commuter town for a lot of business executives working in New York City, in particular in finance. And so,
which town is that?
It was in Greenwich, Connecticut. So
everyone knows Greenwich.
Yeah. So growing up in Greenwich, it's somewhat of a different upbringing. And you know, the guys who are coaching your little league soccer teams and baseball teams, you know, they're also running huge hedge funds during the day. And so I played a ton of sports, but was really competitive and strong at math at the same time. And the intersection of those two was the desire to work in finance. So as a kid, especially being around all these influential figures in the financial world, my whole desire was to one day work in finance.
Did you travel as a kid?
So we traveled a little bit. It wasn't like we were, you know, extensive world travelers. You know, if we took a vacation, my dad's a pretty active guy, so he was usually trying to find somewhere that he could go windsurfing. So we traveled somewhat, but not anywhere close to the type of travel I did in my early 20s. So
then there was one pivotal moment in your life that led to what you're doing now with Pencils of Promise.
Yeah, so
talk about that.
You know, I was on this path to work on Wall Street, and then when I was 21, I saw a film called Baraka. It was shot in 24 countries in all of these beautiful cultures, and it showed the way that people were living, mainly in the developing world, and all these geographic wonders, things that I just never even knew existed. And I thought, if these exist somewhere in the world, I need to go see them with my own eyes. I need to kind of leave the bubble of comfort that I've...
Greenwich Village.
Right. Greenwich to then a New England school. I was going to Braun University at the time. And then moving to New York, it was like I was never going to leave, you know, the Northeast. So I went on this program called Semester at Sea, which is a cruise ship that goes around the world, travels to 10 different countries. And about 13 days into my voyage, we were struck by a 60-foot rogue wave, 800 miles from land.
Wow. And
you know, the kind of what you can envision, that panicked announcement: get to the 5th floor higher, get to your muster stations. Essentially a mayday call that our ship was going to go down in the North Pacific in winter, and that we were all going to perish with it. And I had this moment where I really genuinely, I knew I was going to die. And then about 30 seconds later, after kind of evaluating, like, is this what my life is meant to be, I had this total stillness, this total calmness kind of settle over me. And there was this sudden recognition that I had a purpose, that I had more to do here than, you know, 21-year-old perishes at sea being my legacy. And so I changed into swimming gear, because I thought the whole ship was going to go down, everyone was going to disappear with it, but I was going to be the one guy left floating, you know, swimming for days. And fortunately, the ship didn't go down, but it created a sense of weight around whatever was going to come next. You know, just everything felt so much deeper, because I kind of had this come to God moment.